Dependency. It's a word thrown around a lot, but what does it really mean? Simply put, dependency is needing someone or something else to feel complete, to function, to be happy. It's like needing your morning coffee just to feel human. Now, we all depend on things to some extent. We depend on grocery stores for food, on transportation to get around. That's normal. But when it comes to our emotional well-being, relying too heavily on external factors can be a recipe for disaster. Think about it. Ever known someone who can't function without constant validation on social media? Their mood hinges on the number of likes and comments. That's dependency rearing its ugly head. Or how about the friend who relies on their partner for every decision, big or small? They can't choose a restaurant, a movie, or even what to wear without their significant other's input. This goes beyond seeking advice. It's a deep-seated need for external approval and direction. These might seem like extreme examples, but they highlight a common thread. Dependency in its various forms limits our freedom and stunts our growth. It prevents us from developing our own identities and making our own choices. Now let's apply this to romantic relationships. When you're dependent on your partner, your happiness hinges on their presence and actions. If they don't text back, your whole day is ruined. If they leave, you feel like your world is falling apart. But here's the kicker. A little attachment is normal and even good. The problem arises when your entire emotional well-being depends on your partner. Picture your relationship as a 1,000-mile journey. In a healthy relationship, both partners have the strength to walk the entire distance alone, but they choose to walk together. They support each other when needed, but neither has to carry the other the whole way. Now imagine if one person couldn't walk at all and had to be carried the entire journey. No matter how strong the other person is, they'll eventually get tired. This fatigue can lead to resentment and the desire to find an easier journey with someone else. Dependency isn't just about feeling sad when your partner's not around. It can actually destroy relationships that could have been great. When you're overly dependent, you put immense pressure on your partner. They might feel suffocated, leading them to pull away. Moreover, dependency often stems from not finding happiness within yourself. We all seek love. It's a fundamental human need, deeply ingrained in our very being. Connection makes us feel alive. It brings joy, comfort, and a sense of belonging. But what happens when we rely on someone else to feel complete? That's emotional dependence. It's when our happiness hinges entirely on another person. It's a trap. Leaving us vulnerable and afraid, we become prisoners of our own emotions, constantly fearing abandonment. Imagine relying on a single source of water in the desert. It's a precarious situation. If it dries up, you're in trouble. Your survival is at risk. Love shouldn't feel like a life or death scenario. It shouldn't be a source of constant anxiety and stress. It should nourish us, not consume us. Love should be a partnership, a mutual exchange of care and support. Emotional dependence isn't about love itself. It's about how we approach it. It's about our mindset and expectations. It's how we perceive our relationships and our own self-worth. It's losing ourselves in the pursuit of someone else's affection. It's losing our identity in the process. This never leads to lasting happiness. True fulfillment comes from within, from self-love and self-acceptance. Now let's delve into the reasons behind emotional dependency. Why do we become emotionally dependent? Often it stems from a lack of self-love. We doubt our worthiness and seek validation externally. Fear is another culprit. The fear of loneliness can be paralyzing. We cling to relationships, afraid to face the world alone. This fear keeps us trapped. Finally, a lack of personal goals can contribute to dependence. Without our own passions and aspirations, we become overly invested in our partner's lives. Breaking free from emotional dependence requires inner work. We must cultivate self-confidence and embrace our worthiness. This starts with self-compassion. Recognize your strengths, talents, and accomplishments. Celebrate your uniqueness. You are worthy of love just as you are. Practice self-care. Engage in activities that bring you joy and nourish your soul. The more you invest in yourself, the less you'll seek validation elsewhere. Explore the joy of independence, finding yourself outside of a relationship. This journey offers a path to self-discovery and personal growth. Many people equate being single with loneliness. However, being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. Solitude can be a gift. It offers a chance to reflect, to understand our own thoughts and feelings without external influences. It's an opportunity to connect with ourselves, explore our passions, and discover who we truly are. This time alone can be incredibly enriching. Embrace new hobbies, travel to new places, or reconnect with old friends. These activities can bring immense joy and satisfaction. The world is full of possibilities waiting to be explored. Each new experience adds a layer to our understanding of life and ourselves. When you find joy and fulfillment independently, you bring a stronger, more complete version of yourself to your relationships. This self-assuredness enhances your connections with others. You become a giver of love, not just a seeker. Your relationships become more balanced and fulfilling, built on mutual respect and understanding. Setting sail, charting your course with personal goals. Having personal goals is crucial for a fulfilling life, with or without a partner. These goals provide direction, purpose, and a sense of accomplishment. What are your dreams? What makes you feel alive? Write them down, no matter how small or grand. Then break them down into smaller, achievable steps. As you pursue your goals, you'll gain confidence, independence, and a sense of self-efficacy. This, in turn, strengthens your relationships. Next, let's explore space to breathe, respecting boundaries in love. Healthy relationships thrive when given room to grow. Just as we need air to breathe, we need time apart to nurture our individuality and personal growth. Encourage your partner to pursue their passions, hobbies, and spend time with their friends. This not only enriches their life, but also brings new experiences and stories to share. Do the same for yourself. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Absence, when navigated with love and trust, can truly make the heart grow fonder. It allows you to appreciate each other more deeply. Respecting each other's boundaries fosters mutual respect, trust, and independence. It creates a foundation for a strong and lasting relationship. It allows love to flourish without the suffocating grip of dependence. Freedom within a relationship is essential for both partners to feel valued and understood. Remember, love should be a source of joy, not a source of anxiety. A healthy relationship brings happiness and peace. By cultivating self-love, pursuing our passions, and respecting boundaries, we can experience the beauty of healthy, interdependent relationships. This balance is key to a fulfilling and harmonious partnership. To recap, in this video, we discussed the trap of emotional dependence, the fears and insecurities that come with it, and how to find yourself outside of a relationship. We also covered the importance of setting personal goals and respecting boundaries in love. Remember, healthy love starts with a healthy you. The journey to healthy love is ongoing, filled with growth, learning, and transformation. Embrace it with an open heart and a resilient spirit. Remember, the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. Nurture it, cherish it, and let it guide you towards a life of love, happiness, and fulfillment. Now that we've explored how to avoid emotional dependence, let's shift our focus to another common relationship pitfall: chasing after someone who isn't equally invested. This next topic is crucial because it directly relates to maintaining your self-worth and creating balanced, healthy relationships. If you find yourself always taking the initiative, trying to impress him, and desperately wanting his attention, this video is for you. I'll share 4 key signs that you're chasing him and explain why this approach can actually make him lose interest. The first sign is that you're always the one initiating contact. You're constantly texting or calling first, and if you don't, days might go by without hearing from him. This behavior can actually make him lose interest because he feels no need to put in any effort. To align with our earlier discussion on stepping back and mirroring investment, consider reducing contact frequency. Instead of daily interactions, aim for 2-3 times per week. This isn't about playing games, but about creating space for both of you. During this time, focus on activities that enrich your life independently, such as pursuing hobbies or spending time with friends. This approach helps foster emotional independence and allows your partner the opportunity to take initiative in the relationship. The second sign is constantly trying to get his attention. Maybe you're posting on social media hoping he'll notice, or joining activities he likes even if you don't enjoy them. This can backfire because it comes across as insincere. Instead, post less frequently and only share meaningful content. Pursue your own interests and hobbies. If he likes soccer and you enjoy drawing, dedicate time to improving your art skills. This boosts your confidence and makes you more attractive. Sign number 3 is frequently adjusting your plans to fit his schedule. You might change your plans last minute or cancel on friends to spend time with him. This can make him lose interest because he starts taking you for granted. To handle this, stick to your plans. If he makes last-minute suggestions, politely decline if you're busy. Let him know you have plans that they can't be changed and suggest another time to meet. This shows you value your time and helps him respect you more. The final sign is feeling sad or disappointed when you don't receive the same attention from him. You might feel let down when he forgets important dates or doesn't show the care you expect. Remember, constantly meeting high expectations can be stressful for him. Instead of getting upset, try gently reminding him of important dates or using shared reminder apps. Plan your own outings and activities. When you're less dependent on his initiative, he's likely to show more interest in your rich, independent life. Now here's the secret. The root cause of chasing a man often stems from low self-esteem. You're giving him too much attention and energy while he's not reciprocating. Remember, you can't build a good relationship with someone who doesn't invest in you. Instead, only invest a little by responding to his actions when he wants to get closer. Reply to his messages. Agree to dates, but don't over-invest. The right person for you isn't just someone you like, but someone who's willing to invest in and build something with you. Remember, a woman who stops chasing is brave, and a man who pursues when he can is strong. Focus on building your self-esteem, pursuing your interests, and only investing in those who invest in you. Now that we've explored how to stop chasing and regain your power, let's flip the script and examine why men might stop pursuing you. Understanding both sides of this dynamic will give you a more complete picture of healthy relationship dynamics. Let's get started. Have you ever noticed a guy's interest fading over time? It's a common issue, but there's a reason behind it. The key: he needs to overcome challenges during the pursuit. Men and women are wired differently when it comes to relationships. While women love being cared for, men thrive on conquering challenges. It's this fundamental difference that drives their pursuit. When we fall for a guy too quickly or pamper him excessively, we inadvertently remove the challenges. This can make him lose interest because it feels too easy. Here's a truth bomb. A man needs to pursue and overcome challenges to truly fall in love. It's not about playing hard to get, but about allowing natural obstacles in the relationship to exist. Challenges serve multiple purposes. They help a man grow and develop. They allow him to become a more mature version of himself. They create a sense of achievement when overcome. They lead to a stronger, more resilient connection. Think about couples you know where the man had to work hard to win the woman over. Notice how much he treasures her. That's because the challenges he faced made the relationship more valuable to him. So what's the takeaway? If you want a man to continue pursuing you, don't eliminate all the challenges. Allow for some natural obstacles. This doesn't mean playing games, but rather letting the relationship unfold naturally without rushing or over-accommodating. For example, if he wants to see you, don't always be available. Have your own plans and hobbies. This shows him that you have a life outside of the relationship, which is incredibly attractive. Another example is to let him take the lead sometimes. If he suggests a date idea, go with it. This gives him a sense of accomplishment and involvement in the relationship. Remember, challenges in a relationship aren't just obstacles, they're opportunities for growth, both individually and as a couple. By understanding this, you can foster a deeper, more meaningful connection. Let's quickly recap the 3 steps to keep him interested. Step 1. Allow natural challenges to exist in the relationship. Step 2. Maintain your own plans and hobbies to show you have a life outside the relationship. Step 3. Let him take the lead sometimes to give him a sense of accomplishment. Now that we've explored the importance of avoiding emotional dependence in love, let's shift gears to another crucial aspect of relationships. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your partner suddenly becomes cold or distant? It's a common challenge that many face, and it can be incredibly frustrating and confusing. But don't worry, we're about to dive into some powerful strategies that can help you navigate these tricky waters. Just as we learned how independence strengthens relationships, these methods will empower you to handle a partner's sudden distance with grace and confidence. So let's explore 2 surprisingly simple yet effective approaches that might challenge everything you thought you knew about rekindling a relationship. Are you ready to gain some practical insights that could transform your approach to relationship challenges? Let's get started. Our first method might seem counterintuitive at first, but it's incredibly effective. Instead of rushing to rekindle the relationship when you notice your man becoming cold, we're going to do the opposite. That's right. We're going to step back. Now, I know this goes against the grain of what you've likely been told before. Many relationship experts will advise you to put yourself in his shoes, to share more, to actively warm things up. But here's the kicker. That's actually the wrong approach in this situation. Let me break it down for you. When a man starts to act cold or distant, he's essentially communicating that he's not as invested in the relationship at that moment. If you respond by pushing for more interaction or trying to force warmth, you're actually doing the opposite of what he subconsciously wants or needs. This can have the unintended effect of pushing him even further away, creating a cycle of frustration for both of you. So, what's the solution? It's beautifully simple. Stand still, take a step back, give him space. This isn't about playing games or being passive-aggressive, it's about creating an opportunity for clarity. By stepping back, you're giving yourself a clear view of whether he still considers you and the relationship important. It's like taking a step back from a painting to see the whole picture more clearly. Now, let's move on to our second method, which I like to call mirroring investment. This approach is all about matching the level of energy and effort that your partner is putting into the relationship. If he's not texting or calling much, resist the urge to flood his phone with messages or voicemails. Instead, match his level of engagement. I want to be crystal clear here. This isn't about being petty, playing mind games, or trying to get back at him. It's about showing him through your actions that the health of the relationship is a two-way street. You're demonstrating that if he lets the relationship drift, you won't just sit around waiting indefinitely. You're a valuable person with a full life, and your time and energy are precious. Now here's where things get really interesting. When you implement these two methods, stepping back and mirroring investment, something almost magical tends to happen. Your man starts to notice a shift in the dynamic. He might find himself thinking, wait a minute, why does she seem a bit distant? What's changed? This moment of realization can be incredibly powerful. It makes him confront and reflect on his own behavior in a way that no amount of talking or pleading could achieve. At this crossroads, one of two things typically happens. Scenario 1. If he truly cares about you and values the relationship, this change in dynamic will often motivate him to take action. He might reach out wanting to talk things through and find ways to reconnect and improve the relationship. This can lead to honest, open communication about both of your needs and expectations. Scenario 2. On the other hand, if his feelings have genuinely cooled or if he's not invested in making things work, he might continue to drift away. And you know what? As difficult as this can be to accept, it's actually okay. It's far better to have clarity about where you stand than to keep pouring energy into a relationship that isn't reciprocal. As we wrap up, I want to emphasize something crucial. These methods aren't about playing games or being manipulative. They're about reclaiming your power and initiative in the relationship. By implementing these strategies, you're not just passively waiting for him to dictate the course of your relationship. You're actively participating in shaping its direction. Here's the beautiful part. When you follow these steps, you often find that your own attractiveness and self-confidence naturally increase. You regain a sense of independence and self-worth that isn't tied to another person's behavior. Most importantly, you get a clear, unfiltered picture of where you truly stand in the relationship. It's all about valuing yourself, setting healthy boundaries, and not accepting less than you deserve in a partnership. And there you have it. I hope these ideas have been helpful and given you some food for thought. Remember, these are just suggestions based on my experience, and what works best can vary for each unique situation. Every relationship is unique, and it's always important to trust your instincts and do what feels right for you. If you found this video helpful, please like it to help our channel reach more people, as YouTube's algorithm favors videos with many likes. Also, consider subscribing to our channel if you want to hear more content on building healthy relationships. Leave a comment below with your thoughts and experiences. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep growing.